Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting for the city of San Juan at 6 p.m. May we rise for invocation? Mr. Arjona, can you lead us, sir?
Yes, please bow our heads. Dear Father, as we gather here today, we thank you for your blessings you have bestowed upon us. As we start tonight's meetings, we ask for your guidance and wisdom as our elected officials make important decisions that will benefit our city. We place our worries in your hands. We pray in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Flag for pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Jimmy.
Public comments? No? All right. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Mayor Commissioners, good evening, staff, community. Under the first item, Mayor Commissioners, we have under presentations, we have a presentation on departmental reports. Tonight we have the Department of Planning and Zoning, the Department of Parks and Recreation, Department of Sanitation, and the Juan Memorial Library. Everyone is here available. Should you have any questions for them?
Any questions for the directors? I think I just have, under Parks, Mr. Willingham, as far as the status on the North Side Park, where are we at on that, sir?
Yeah, we met today, and everything's rolling along very smoothly. There's some minor issues, one of the water lines, but it looks like it's getting corrected. Danny was there, and actually the contractor informed us that they may be ahead of schedule. Correct? Correct.
Oh, nice.
So they're due to turn it over to us approximately April the 12th, but they're ahead of schedule right now. So everything's, I'm sorry?
Who's the contractor on that?
Construction. Yeah. So they're moving right along. Everything's coming along really well.
And this is
Got some
phase
images.
one, right?
This is phase one, and I believe phase two is ready.
They haven't gone out for any.
No, not yet. As a matter of
Not
fact, we're getting together with Mr. Gonzalez to see what the total amount of the monies that we have available is, so that we can send it out for bids already. So if everything goes well, I think within the next maybe couple of weeks, we should be able to send that out for bidding.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, so everything's looking good. Very
Good. Good. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? If not, we'll move on. Go ahead, sir.
Next item under public hearing, we have a hold a public hearing for conditional use permit to allow a mobile food court and the sale of alcoholic beverages for on-premise consumption at Cam Food Truck Park located at 304 West Los Ebanos Street, legally described as Lot 5 through 7, Block 1, Granada Village subdivision, is requested by Luis Ramirez. Mr. Tijerina.
The applicant is proposing a mobile food standard. It will be in and out of standard. In and out of standard.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to go ahead and open this at 6:07 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? Can you please state your name for the record, sir? Okay. 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 Mhm.
When we first heard that there were going to be two types of businesses, we kind of thought that there was going to be a block or something that would be quiet and you know, close it for use hours and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But in this case, we're finding out that they're trying to get the permits for not only keep it up till 11 o'clock at night in a quiet neighborhood, but we're already getting to our older age. My neighbors are retired, most everybody there is retired. And so this is the problem with us. If it's quiet, we're going to be bringing music in, we're going to be playing around, things that are going to affect us in a different way. And nobody can tell me that we're not going to park along Los Angeles. So that's going to be right in front of me. I got grandkids that like to play. And you know, I don't want to be like that. But I'm going to fight with it. We want to. You know, I don't really that's one time. We all have them, we leave them on. And people say, you like to keep quiet, you like to be safe, and you protect your alcohol and all those things.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Anyone else? For or against?
My name is Municipal, and I live corner to the property. I haven't received any information, any letters about this until my neighbors told me. We're fellow educators who work for the district. My parents live in town from me. My dad can send a letter, responding, against it. But and we read some of the information that would say that they were protesting it, which they did through email. We sent it twice already, so it's also an insurance because of things like that. If I grew up in a neighborhood back in the 70s, before it became a city, it was, this county. And we used to ride our bicycles. So we don't want, that. It's just stay safe, don't start motion.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Gabriela, and also Lomila de Rio de Escuchábanos, and Rio 4. And yes, my point is, yes, I am all for business, I'm all for, prosperity, but this type of business wouldn't be as good for our neighborhood.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else for or against? You can come up to the podium and state your name for the record, sir. Okay. Okay. Mhm. Gracias. Anyone else against? Any questions, members of the commission?
You said you received nobody for or against it? Email, phone calls, or anything like that?
My understanding, in speaking to staff, we did not receive any comments. The first meeting, there were some questions regarding this proposal and the information to get the information to the text office directly to us by the planning commission, so we did that. So following those conditions, and we ourselves looking at it, because of the intersection of standard and Cerrados and some of the history of the fact that this originally was a residential neighborhood, which was recorded on May 18th, it's on page 2 of the, or page 23 of your packets. And it's that the subdivision was recorded May 18th, 1970, and replatted on April 16, 1973. At that time, the property was located outside the city limits of San Juan, and it was annexed in 1985. That's a little bit of history of this subdivision. And then just the neighborhood, I know it was rezoned commercial to C1, and recently to C2 because of the fact that it's on 695.
It's a state highway.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
However, based on the state, they don't allow that.
Correct.
So Planning and Zoning Commission approved it with a conditional use that they exit and enter through Los Ebanos. But staff,
Based on the site plan.
based on the new site plan, but the staff, when the staff denied it, did y'all deny it with the Los Ebanos entrance and exit, or was this before that was proposed?
The original, the original one was the one out of.
495. So that's why the denial was there. Okay. My other question is, has there ever been a traffic study done to address how much traffic is coming in, if perhaps there was if some of the, say we were to approve it, customers park on the street, has there been a traffic study to look at those aspects if it were to happen?
We have not.
No? Okay.
So just to clarify that, as far as the Los Ebanos entrance, we discussed it at the staff meeting, and we recommended denial on that, to answer your question.
This is, I'll tell you what I don't want to say it, but as far as it's an issue, I guess my concern is when are we gonna, start policing this? Because I know around town that we've already opened up several food trucks, and the food trucks that we pretty much opened up around town were kind of, in a pretty good location, I can honestly say, but in this particular one, this one's a little different. And I think that, I don't know if there's a way before you have any investor coming into the city, you somehow asking them, okay, what are your plans if you were to purchase this? Because I'd hate for these individuals to come in, purchase property, thinking that everything's just like what this gentleman mentioned. Is that fair for him? And I totally understand the homeowners as well,
Touching up on that, I agree with Mayor on that. All the investments being made, and what concerns me is that he said several times, step by step by step, he's been dialoguing with the city.
Yeah.
Or city staff.
This property was originally zoned 1, and there was a plaza layout, plans were reviewed and approved by the city.
Uh-huh.
An entrance and exit was approved by TxDOT back then, I don't know how many years ago. So that was the intention, that a plaza facing 495,
Okay.
parking and an entrance, all approved. But now,
Yeah.
7 years later, now we have this proposal, and TxDOT says.
A plaza and a food location is two different things.
Right.
And it's two different traffics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So this is a whole different issue now, where we're at.
I have a
Go
question,
ahead,
just
go ahead, sir.
to make sure that we all totally understand that the backside of this food truck is going to be facing 495. Is that correct?
So they're lined up.
The backside of the food trucks are going to be facing 495, right? Okay.
I'm assuming there'd be fencing proposed.
And those are the visions that I have, Mayor. If you go back to uniformity, if you go from the west side all the way to the east side, everything's frontal and a very lucrative street area. Obviously, we all want business to come into our city, San Juan, but I think it'll look kind of awkward when you have a backside facing a very lucrative, high-traffic, economic development area, to be facing a major corridor. Those are kind of the things that, maybe that's why also it was kind of denied, I can imagine, or for other questions, but I have a big question on that backside stuff.
Anything else?
No, I just think because 495 on that particular side is more residential, that's because when you look on the north side of 495, you have the more of the business aspect and the business fronts on the north side of 495. So I think that's what Commissioner
Yeah.
Sanchez is talking about, because there's just a difference in the facade on the two sides. of the district.
So is there a way that you can, or you guys can inform these investors? I'd hate, like what this gentleman mentioned, like coming in, investing, thinking that, it's a possibility, high percentage that he can get done what he wants there.
Yes, sir.
And then we're in this situation. Because that's not fair and I get it, it was originally, what you're talking about, it was a plaza.
Right.
Okay.
But the matter of this is that, if I'm not mistaken, this gentleman purchased the property and then they approached the city.
That made a difference.
Right.
Okay.
The property, not the plaza. The property,
Exactly.
yes.
Without coming to the city,
It was originally.
right? Okay. Any other questions?
So to clarify, Daniel, P&Z approved this? They approved it, not recommended approval. They actually took a vote and approved it,
But staff denied it.
but staff denied it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this up at 7:20 PM. This time, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion and go with the recommendation of staff to go ahead and deny this item on this agenda. Is there a second? Second. It's been second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. It's been denied.
The next item is hold a public hearing for conditional use permit to allow a drive-through business and the sale of alcoholic beverages and off-premise consumption at Piporo Taqueria Jalisco, located 1208 North Raul Longoria Road, Suite J, legally described as Lot 1, Gutierrez Duncan subdivision, as requested by L&L Taquerias LLC. Mr. Tigrina?
It has 10 suites. Each suite is 1,217 square feet. Has 81 common parking spaces and one entrance along the way. This is for a restaurant. It's under construction. It's very nice. It's a Piporo Taqueria Jalisco. The operation hours are noted there in your report. And in essence, they're proposing to have a drive-through window on the north side. It'll be the suite on the north side of the plaza. And also, in the request details, the sale of on-site consumption of alcoholic beverages for the restaurant. But it is a restaurant. So we did mail notices to property owners within 200-foot radius. We published this in the advance. Staff recommends approval of the conditional use permit, subject to conditions listed in the staff's report. The planning commission also approval of this conditional use permit for the sale of alcoholic beverages and this is a public hearing of this matter.
This time, I'm going to open it up at 6:22 PM. Is there anyone here for or against? For or against? Any questions, members of the commission? So they're pretty much good as far as with your checklist? P and Z, right? Cameras and all that stuff.
Before they open,
Yeah,
before
that-
they open, not.
That's what
not-
I'm trying to say.
Oh, yes, because you know that's something I'm always a stickler on every time it comes up.
You all right?
Okay, Danny, you're okay.
All right, I'm gonna close, let me close this. I'm gonna close this at 6:23 PM. Is there a motion to approve? It's been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Next item on the appointment, we have considered removal and appointment of one board member to the San Juan Noche de Paz Pageant Board.
So what's going on here?
Yes, Mayor, we have on the board, I sit on the board, and we've had one who hasn't been able to attend due to her school and work schedule. So as per recommendation of the board, they are recommending Yvonne Zapata to replace the board member.
Board member?
Saraí Cantu?
Oh, Cantu.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's going to school and she has a job, so it's hard for her to make the meetings.
And who are you?
Yvonne Zapata.
Second. Before, I just want, I got a quick couple of questions in regards to the pageant. Where are we at on that? 'Cause, I mean, pretty much I noticed that there's a fee,
Yes.
and my intentions was not to have a fee.
So the fee is compared to other pageants go from $250 to $350 up to $500 and above. We're just doing it at $50. And then we have stipulations on there as far as they have to reside in the city of San Juan, but not go to PSJA bears. But they do have to reside, and they are subject to inspection to make sure that they do reside there. We do have also other requirements that we follow their social media. If they do have social media platforms, that they are respectful, because if they do win, they will be representing the city. So we have that as well. And that's pretty much it. We'll have an informational meeting in a couple of weeks. And we have had a few girls come in. We have 3 categories, which one is going to be the junior high category, which is the Duchess, and that's 6th to 8th grade. Then we have the Princess, which is a freshman or a sophomore. And then we have the Queen, will be a junior or a senior.
Now, the $50 goes to what?
It goes back into the pageant board to pay for the fees, because we will have to pay for the judges. And there are some expenses that have been incurred as far as like for the crowns, for the ribbons, and things like that. So that goes straight back. So if there's anything extra, it'll carry over to the next year.
Have we had a good feedback?
We've had some feedback, so that's why we're keeping it low. And then we also have pre-approvals of all attire that they're going to be wearing, so that it is appropriate for their age, and it's not too revealing or inappropriate, so they've been submitting that as well.
So now, as far as the judges, how many judges are you planning?
Judges.
Oh, 3.
3 judges, and they won't be local judges. The committee has recommended judges outside the area, so there is no bias or no relationship to any of the contestants that will be participating in the pageant. We're trying. It's our first year, but
And so,
we're trying.
when are they supposed to unveil?
So what it's gonna be December the 3rd on Sunday. That's gonna be the pageant itself at PSJ High School. It'll be at 3 o'clock. And then from there, at the end of that pageant, they will be awarded Miss Congeniality, Best Casual Wear, Best Formal Wear, Miss Hospitality. But we will not crown the queens, the duchess, or the princess until the Noche de Paz festival. So all the girls, all the contestants will participate in the lighted parade for the Noche de Paz. They'll come into the park, and then somewhere in between the concerts, we will crown the queens. And we'll give them a final walk, if they want Miss Congeniality, Best Formal Wear, Casual Wear. We'll also announce that at the Noche de Paz itself, and then they'll be crowned there.
This is gonna be an annual thing now.
Yes, and we do have scholarships in place for them if they do finish their reign, depending on the age group, anywhere from $200 to $500.
All right, with that being said, I know there's a motion, second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item of discussion and possible action we have a consideration and action to approve the Urban County Preliminary Work Plan for fiscal year 2024. Mr. Tejerina.
Mayor, Pro Tem Commissioners, this item is to approve the work plan for fiscal year 37. In your packets, you have the information that we received from Urban County, and we also submit back to them. This, for 2024, the city of San Juan received $294,597. So, administration fund shall use for CDBG expenses, advertising of city project activities in the amount of $3,000. And then street improvements, covers materials engineering, geographical expenses for repaving of Gardenia Drive at Barton before subdivision, in the amount of $180,550. That's with a contingency. And the other request that we received was from Nuestra Clínica del Valle for $10,000. However, in the past, the city has given $7,000. So that's the plan that we have proposing to use, so we can
So that street work that's being done on the northeast corner of Stewart and Old 83, that subdivision in there, those funds are coming out of,
Urban County. Right. Urban County General Fund.
okay, yeah,
Because
just
there's-
making sure.
This is Gardenia Drive from San Martin.
Correct. Got it, okay,
Next fiscal year.
got it. That's what I'm trying to, all right, no. All right, any questions? With that being said, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
The next item is consideration and action on the preliminary and final plat approval of the replat of Lot 2 Gutierrez Duncan subdivision in 2.22 acre tract of land out of Lot 2 Gutierrez Duncan subdivision requested by Javier Hinojosa Engineering. Mr. Quirina.
This subdivision was originally a two-lot plat. It was something probably we looked at a few minutes ago. The back portion was multifamily. So in this case, Javier Hinojosa, the project engineer, is re-subdividing Lot 2 and converting it instead of condominium townhouse type into actual lots. And so the infrastructure's already there, water's streams. So he's proposing the replat, we've presented this to the planning commission, and no issues. So, we're recommending approval of this preliminary final plat.
Questions for Mr. Tejeda? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I always ask this question, what is a flood zone Z? Is that
Flood zone C is areas of minimal flood.
minimal?
Behind the plaza?
That's behind the farm. It's off of Lincoln, enter in Oakland Street, which
Right.
is north and south.
Right, come right
It's on the south. Runs east
Behind.
and west. Residential.
Yeah?
I should hold on so I can make sure, so I can, because I thought it was facing Raul Longoria, the home, so I was like,
No. It's second. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hold on, because I want to make sure.
The next item is consider approval of the Economic Development Corporation's proposed budget for fiscal year 23-24. Mayor Commissioners, in front of you, you have the proposed budget for this coming fiscal year, as it's already been approved by the EDC board. I just wanted to point out real quick that between 2023 to 2024, we had a little bit of an increase on revenues, which is at 1.5 versus 1.7. So I think the EDC is doing very well. So it's about a $200,000 increase from last year to this year. This is what we're presenting here to you. It's a balanced budget that was already discussed within the EDC, just coming over for you guys, to you guys for approval.
Any questions?
They getting a raise in the EDC?
Yes,
staff?
the step got it, I want to say, kind of 4%, 4% increase.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item is discussion and consideration toward the RFP number 24-001-10-05, City of San Juan Ambulance Service Contract, and authorize city manager to negotiate and execute all related documents as needed to the most responsible bidder. Ms. Lori?
On September 20th, 2023, and September 27th, 2023, staff at the Central Proposal to be advanced. RFP 24-001-10-05, City of San Juan Ambulance Service. Bid opening was held on October 5th at the Central Service Street in the following: Skyline Inc., Emergency Transit Services, Metro EMS Inc., Lone Star Ambulance Inc., and City of FAR. All those for the senior package, along with evaluation sheet and agenda.
RFQ that went out, I know we have a budget of $300,000, and did anybody come close to that? Or as far as you have the rankings are 1 and 2, did either of those two come close to those?
For yearly, Medicare came in at 420,000 yearly. Number 2 was at 472,500 yearly, for the total. Year 1 would be 450,000 for year 1.
So you mentioned 400,000 yearly, right, on Medicare? And then 472 Lone Star, am I correct? Oh, okay. Got it. And then we have FAR EMS at 375.
There were other, based on the proposal, years of service that were required, 5 years, and minimum years of service is 3 years. And, below is better than that.
That again, it was 5 years?
And 911 is 3 years.
And we budget 300,000, you guys?
300,000.
And I know the biggest issue what we had was the budget about being over, and that's where we looked at the price, and that's what we went out originally because of the pricing. Council, really quick, I know we had this in executive session. Obviously, we're out here discussing the record, since I was open for.
Uh, Yeah, everything should be out here unless there's a legal question regarding the the RFQ process and so forth. That's correct. If there is a legal question, we could take care of that in
One of the
executive.
concerns was actually the amount, right? That's what we're looking at, and obviously, we're not privileged to that stuff because it happened back there. They're not saying it's open. So far was the lowest bid? Okay. Right.
What did we, question, Mr. Hold on, what would we pay, what were we paying for this past year? What was that number at?
So it was at around 877 yearly.
Yeah, but we didn't even hit the year. Am I correct?
Right. How many months did we do?
We did like 4 months maybe? Or 5?
It was over 6 months.
Nah, I think it was
So, and real quick, I just want, I'm looking at this, I mean, is there anything different or anything that changed for them to be at 875 and now to be at the lowest bid? Our services?
Well, the only thing I did see, Commissioner, is that we're no longer getting the percentage back of the sharing, actually the kind of like the income.
every quarterly.
Originally gotten that, because we didn't have the amount of return, so we can actually, but to actually, to offset the price that was coming.
That wasn't in their in the packet. I didn't see that.
I see.
Now, was FAR willing to do that? To give us, reimbursement quarterly?
So the way that it was written.
Or anybody, I guess, I mean. like-
No, the way that it was written, it was a straight cost, no reimbursements back to the city.
But is that what they said? That they weren't gonna reimburse the city? It was just gonna be a straight cost?
Because that's part of the proposal, correct?
Leroy, can you answer, how much have we paid already far for the ambulance services up to now? Can you give me a price figure? Okay. And we're still paying at that amount up to today?
We had a 90-day, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, we're already at the tail end of it already. That's why we're here.
And we have
The reimbursement. What was the reimbursement, Mr. Leroy? From the city of FAR?
62 for, that's what we collected so far.
For the first quarter.
Per quarter? Oh, that's the only one time, not per quarter.
And
we
the
haven't
second
received
quarter?
it.
We haven't received anything from the second quarter? And we're on the third already?
That a yes or a no?
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't seen nothing yet? And we're at the third quarter.
As response time here, Chief, this is for the proposal. That's what they're estimating, right? This is not, there's nothing quantitative on this, right? There's nothing, this is what the proposal, what they're proposing to us, right? Time-wise? Gotcha.
Now, any of these companies, are they under any type of litigation, do you know? Did anybody research that? No. No? You don't think that, first of all, let me go back. Who was on the committee? Leroy. Okay. Okay, and none of y'all here at the city researched or find out any of these companies are under litigation? No? I think that's a very important, item to look into. I don't know what y'all think.
I agree on that, but
But-
I also agree, references as well. How many other cities carry some of these?
Is there anybody here that, for the ambulance services, that work with different companies that, do you know, are you guys are in any delegations? Anybody of you guys?
Saying,
I
like,
mean-
they can't.
Reference-wise, how many? I guess in each package shows some of their services.
So,
Who does FAR service besides FAR? Just someone? I'm sorry, is that right? Mr.?
Yeah, we service FAR and some others.
Okay.
Previously, we serviced precinct 3 and emergency services.
Still? You used to, correct.
now, I noticed, obviously, the ranking, right? Medicare came in first, right? In y'all's ranking? Okay, so I guess the question I have is that prior to FAR EMS coming in, Medicare was with us, right? We had Medicare? What was the reason why we let them go? Do you know? You don't? But we had them previous before. So then we ended up bringing in FAR EMS, am I correct, after Medicare? After the commission decided to go another route, we ended up bringing in FAR EMS.
At a higher
So
price.
what changed from prior of FAR EMS coming in to now? What's the difference here for them to be ranked number one? If prior bringing in FAR EMS, we had gone a different route.
And just for the record, but the first time we did, I know we went out for not RFPs, correct? Is that correct, Mr. Arona? Mr. Arona?
No, there's no
No, the first time.
There was no RFPs.
So we went out for RFQs? Nope. So we weren't, no one was allowed, we didn't give everybody an opportunity to come in and propose to us, is correct? Okay.
Yeah, but I just, that's the question I have, Mr. Ron. I mean, what different was it when they were here and we took another route to now they're on top of the list?
So, yeah, so the only difference here is that the way the Lord is answering is that the fact of the matter is that Medicare is at 1 because of the user service. Now, as far as the response time, I know we had some issues back then on the response time. We got some issues with the city of FAR on the response time as well. I don't know if it's any better or did it get any worse? I'm not really, I really don't know how to answer that.
Well, just got the report today. I don't know if we're allowed to elaborate on the report. Just a couple of pages that I checked. Their system to comply with the 90%, it's rated, it's calculated throughout all the calls for the month. So that we had a total of 300 calls, okay? So on average, they complied with the 90%. But if you look through the reports, the time from when they get dispatched to the time they get on scene, there's plenty of them that are not compliant. I could sit here and just tell you off one page, there were several. And I'm talking about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Expected it to get better after the first time. And basically, and I understand the industry's going to be like that. I mean, there's different circumstances daily, and not one is better than the other. They all try to get there, obviously, and do their job professionally.
Correct.
But as far as the response time, you know, there's, if that was the original, you know, because we're looking into it, and did it improve, or, you know, basically plateaued and stayed the same?
I basically, I monitor them every now and then. I just wait, you know, basically that's what's going to tell me.
Chief, are you getting those reports on a timely manner?
Correct. I just go out.
And what about the previous ones? Have you been getting them on a timely manner, those reports so you can review?
Yes.
Now, do you ask the surrounding municipalities who, for instance, like in this case, Medicare, they service, do you talk to the fire chiefs about how they're doing in other cities?
I've never done that.
And now, is that illegal, or, I mean, I don't know.
No, I see it illegal, but I've never actually talked to anybody actually where they're
Or-
care service.
Or whether if their response time, or they're are good or not, you haven't spoken, no? You think that's something important that we should look into as well?
Very possible. Get an assignment like that, yes.
I really think, yeah, you know, there's another factor here that I'm looking at is whether any of these companies are under litigation as well.
One of the
Because
factors-
I can't still get a straight answer, you know, and it's not your fault, man. It's no one's fault. You know, I don't know if it's something that fell through the crack or something, but, I mean,
How many does FAR service? Again, it was just FAR in San Juan. So McAllen, Edinburgh, Valley View, Donna, I mean,
Cars what, sir?
It's just the bars I want.
so then FAR comes in, I guess as far as price tag, they're the least expensive, right? Regardless of, I mean, I know the years of service, that's what you're saying that got them to the top, just one item?
Yeah, those.
The
Actually, those two
27
items.
years?
Those two items, the 911 and the user service.
Okay.
Stipulated in the RFQ.
Now, how much time do we have to make a decision on this?
So you can, we can always take no action.
No, and I respect y'all's work, I really do, but going back to what my deal is, I like for Chief Triso to just ask around, talk to the other chiefs, and if this is what the commission decides to do, I mean, that's fine, but, I mean, we need to,
I think that's
really-
already been done. Hasn't this been done by your, I mean, you all have been getting on, you all have been doing this. You all have been,
And I think they service member. But I did not, I saw the chief there, but I didn't ask him. It did with one of the deals, but I mean, I could make some phone calls or something.
When does our contract end, Mr. Leroy? With Artemis? Do you have a date, do you have a I make a recommendation, a motion?
Factors that the mayor is asking for.
So I would like to make a motion for city manager to go into negotiations with the ambulance companies, but also look into the litigation portions of it, and also look into the responses if they are servicing other areas, so you can have it as a comparison. And with that, I would, to go ahead and make the most reasonable, make the contract with the most reasonable bidder within those parameters, meeting still the what we put in the RFQ.
So to go back and
For him to go
Yeah,
into,
exactly.
to go into negotiations with the most responsible bidder.
yeah, that's fine. I just, those are the concerns that I have.
You're not asking to already negotiate with one of them already? or-
No,
No, to go ahead and negotiate with, so we have 3 that make the requirements with the RFQ, is that correct? Okay, so with the, as per the RFQ, we have the top 3 that meet the parameters are the RFQ. My motion is for Mr. Arjona to go into negotiations with the parameters set within the budget, the concerns of mayor with the litigation and responses, with the top 3, bring it back to the commission so we can review.
So in the RFP process, they would have to be awarded, basically, you would have him negotiate with whoever this body chooses they want to go to with.
You have to choose one.
Exactly, and then from
Okay.
there, if they're not able to reach an agreement with them, then they can. I would think if you were going to want to do additional research that could affect this body's decision at this time, then I would probably recommend to table it for your next meeting and have,
table the whole,
Yeah,
the whole
table it and have the-
item, yeah.
have all the
And
items,
then come back
have the
and,
additional research that you need. So that way this body can make their decision.
And once again, research by what? Are you gonna make some phone calls and just? Yeah, what do we mean by research?
I
Yeah,
mean,
just
you were
want that
asking about
clarified.
litigation was one of them that came up. And,
Litigation.
and
And-
then
and
checking
let-
references or whatever.
and the other question I have too, in regards to FAR EMS, is if they're willing to give us quarterly, pay back the city on a quarterly, how they,
You won't be able to redraft the RFQ. So the RFQ, if the RFQ went out already with the certain parameters, then everybody would have the opportunity to talk about rechanging those numbers and reimbursements. So as it relates to the RFQ, that can't change. Since everybody has gone over, the only option to do would be to reject the entire bid because everybody has gone over, and then you would go out for another RFQ. But you cannot change the terms of the RFQ at this juncture. It's either one, if the part of the RFQ was to check references, then you could check those references, so that way this governing body can make a decision irrespective of the recommendation of the city. This body has that power to do that. But they can't change the parameters of the bid because that bid has already gone out and everybody made their proposals.
so the city of FAR told you that they didn't mention anything at the time?
Right, because that's not what's listed on the
Okay.
RFP.
All right, so then we'll go ahead and table the item, and we come back, or?
If there is a motion to table, then there would be a motion to table, and we can come back on the very next meeting for that.
So I need to
And there-
readdress the motion. So my motion will be to go ahead and for our city manager to go into negotiations with our number 1 rank, which is Medicare EMS, following the parameters set forth by our mayor. Also, due to the time constraints, because we're already hitting the 90 days, and if negotiations are not able to be met, we go to number 2 and bring it back to the board. That isn't a motion. That's an emotion.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Aye.
For the simple reason, Mayor, I'll tell
Go
you right
ahead.
now, the RFQs were never an issue. They made them at 90%, and obviously we have $300,000 that was awarded. I mean, actually, that was on the budget, and the actual price amount was the actual main concern of the whole situation. It was not the RFQs or anything like that. Everything that was mentioned was on the budget, and because Mr. Juan said repeatedly that we couldn't balance the budget, so now we were out there to get to get the cost lower so we went out there to get a better bid, which is, obviously, we still didn't meet the 300,000, so that is.
We went out to get a
I'm-
better performance.
Actually, we never just spoke that about that, sir. I'm sorry.
Yes, because you all discussed about times. And
Well, at the end of the day, it's not a debate, sir, it's what I'm actually saying. Thank you.
For the record, again, I know what, that's the motion, the second. So it's negotiated the cost, obviously, to have what we have in our budget. The other one is the litigation. The other one is references and response time. Yes?
Correct. And so they're going to have a unit here 24/7, or how is this?
That's the, what's on the RFP. It calls for 24/7. So we need to make sure that that is going to be the case.
What kind of unit is it going to be?
They're calling for an MICU.
And so who's going to police that?
who's been policing it right now?
There would be, for EMS's house, there would be.
Okay. No, I'm talking about, if we go with well, obviously the motion was on that number one. You know, who's going to police that, whether they're here 24/7 or not?
Right. I'll speak to Mr. Chief here, make sure that will be taking place. And if that doesn't take place, then we'll bring it before you guys and we'll address it with whoever the ambulance providers.
Well, that's what happened the first time. That's what I was trying to say. All right. Okay, we're good.
The next item on the resolution, we have a consideration and action on the resolution submitting entitlement vote for candidates to the Hidalgo County Operations District Board of Directors 2025. The city of San Juan, because of the population in size and the tax levy, we have 50 votes. You can split them 10 each, but that's totally up to you. 10 each? Perfect. Just give me a chance so I can make the notes as how the motions are going to be.
Call out the names, right?
Whoever you want.
Everybody, because somebody was
So,
different.
because this is a collaborative, it has to be by the majority. We're not making nominations, so at this time, you're actually placing the votes. So there would be a motion to either give all votes or portion of votes to one or more persons. It would have to be seconded and voted by the general body. If the person who makes a motion, if that doesn't pass, then obviously somebody will have to make another motion to divide the votes or award the votes to that person, again, second, and then vote it again.
But we can give each individual can make a motion.
That's correct.
For, like, for instance, like how you mentioned, 10 votes. Someone, like, they can do a single motions and just vote.
You can do that, but if that's the way it happens, then I would ask this body somebody will make a final motion to award the 10 votes to these 5 people. There would have to be a second and voted by everybody, that's the way you want to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's only fair.
Yeah, I would want to make sure, how you come up with the votes or divide them,
Two motions,
it'd
yeah.
be good to have a motion by the entire body.
Okay,
Yeah, but then we divide people.
go ahead.
Me first,
Yeah.
I'll nominate Pete Garcia.
Is that
In
an
a
emotion?
motion,
Second? Second? All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Motion carries.
And now he's next, right? Are we all voting
Correct.
this?
Make a motion for Pete Garcia.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'll make a motion for Albert Cardenas.
Second,
Has been second. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Motion carries. I'll go ahead and make a motion for Antonio Lozano. Has been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go ahead, sir.
I'll make my motion for Pete Garcia.
It's been second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. So now we need a,
And for the record, because all the motions were for 10 votes,
sure.
we would need a motion that Pete Garcia receive 30 votes on behalf of, on behalf of City of San Juan. Albert Cardenas received 10 votes belonging to the City of San Juan, and Antonio Lozano receiving 10 votes from from the City of San Juan.
I'll make a motion, which is 30, 10, 10.
For those 3 individuals.
Second,
Second. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Motion carries. There you go.
The next item on the consent agenda, tonight we have item A, B, C, D, and E. Under consent items, notice that you can pull any item to make any further discussion, so just vote as they are, Mayor.
Under consented agenda, is there anything we need to amend or modify? Amend or modify? Excuse me. If not, is there a motion approved? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next item is under executive session. We have one city commissioners convene executive session according with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Governors Texas statutes, and 551 and 551071, consultation with attorney. Tonight we have item 1, 2, and 3 going into executive session, Mayor.
This time, is there a motion to enter executive session?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are entering at 6:58 PM. Huh? Let's just take a second. Yes, you're right. We're back from executive session at 8:48 PM. Is there a motion to reconvene? So moved. I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes under executive session A1. There's no action on that one. On executive session A2, I'll make a motion as we discussed in executive session with our city manager in reference to this item. This is A2. That's a motion. Is there a second? It's been second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. And on executive session A3, I'll go ahead and, I guess, let me see, hold on. I'll make a motion that we go with option DJ8P in reference to the medical insurance proposal summary. That's a motion. Is there a second? You want to go ahead and second that? All those in favor say aye. Aye? All those opposed? Aye. Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion for us to go for RFQs for new agent of record.
Is that an emotion?
Motion.
Second.
Oh, it's been second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Aye. Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. This meeting has been adjourned at 8:50 PM.